Greetings, traveler.
Okay, here we are watching a Jeef game. We got ourselves some Beast, Dragon, Elementals, Mechs, and Murlocs playing on the Chinese server, it looks like, at almost 14k. And we're going to see a Rafam. Now, I assume we're seeing Rafam because of River Skipper. That is a very, very solid one-drop. Anytime you pick Rafam, you are quite interested in the quality of one-drops because you're going to be spending a little bit more time on tier 1, potentially. So a bit of a disappointing first shop. Normally you would like to see Lasso, Recruit, River Skipper, as I mentioned, because all of those would allow him to get a minion and a hero power on turn 1. But that's okay. That just means it's not a high roll, not a low roll yet, just not a high roll start. Why does everybody play on the Chinese server? The competition is better there because they have more people. So if you have more people, then you will also have more good players. And if you have more good players, then the lobbies on average are more competitive at the top. On EU and on NA, this would have been the perfect shot, but it's okay. He's freezing Lasso for next turn. That makes sense. Yep. So on EU and on NA, as a high level player, let's say Jeef queues on NA and he's like 30,000 MMR there or whatever he is usually, right? He's actually going to get people in his lobby that have like 8,000 MMR sometimes, actually quite often. So that is simply because there are not enough people at 10,000 plus MMR that are queuing at the same time. So we talked about this many times already, but if you would like to have very equal matchmaking, then you would have 15, 20, 25 minute queues or something, because you'd have to sit there, wait. And honestly, it might even be longer because Battlegrounds is not a game that has as much players as like League of Legends or something, right? So depending on how strict the matchmaking is, Jeef might actually never get a game, right? So it's just kind of weird. Has anyone asked if it's Sorgo XQ? We're watching Jeef. All right, here we go. So he leveled on turn 3, so that is Jeef curve. Jeef doing Jeef curve. Suspicious. But he's doing it on Rafam. That's even weirder. So he's not doing Rafam curve. He's doing Jeef curve as Jeef. Yes, okay. But he had a nice setup, right? He had money from the River Skipper. He had money from the Lasso. So definitely made his average start a lot better. Turn 1 was bad, but turn 2 was great. Well, turn 2 and turn 3, really. So gets the coin. Will he sell to hero power? I guess you have to look at the opponent for a second, but it doesn't look like it. Moving into the combat. So, yep, still curving pretty normally here. 5 units on the board. What's the TLDR of the patch? Use !! review and then skip all the way to the end of the video. I will do a summary there. So usually we level to tier 4 on this turn in this meta. And I think the only choice here for Jeef is whether he wants to sell something to try and hero power to Phelan. Now he does have the Roaring Rallier in the shop with a hatchling, but I don't think we care because the other minion that we would buy isn't great. You'd have to buy like Roaring Rallier, Tad, and hero power. That's not great. So yeah, like I said, I think the only thing we think about is whether we sell something to hero power. But Phelan hasn't leveled to 4 yet, so he doesn't have the 4 drop yet. It's fine. How am I awake on 5 a.m.? It's very simple. It's not 5 a.m. for me. Boom. Crazy tactics here by the Belgian guy. Have you tried it just not being 5 a.m.? All right. So we are going to take a small loss here. We have the trinket turn popping up. Probably also interested in what he had on the board, right? He was checking his types, what he could get offered. Leapers! Wait, I do like Ornate Clock usually. Goblin Wallet is also super fun. I wouldn't want the Beast ones. Yeah, the Beast ones look bad. They're both great, honestly. I don't think you get Leapers here. Elementals are in as well for Cleave and shit. Oh, he's doing it? Kick weight? Kick weight? No. Wallet? Yep. All right. Just gonna go for an oil every turn. Respectable choice. We do love to see that. I guess you go Hooktail and hero power here, yeah. He's getting a pointy arrow every turn. That's kind of clean. Oh, he's thinking whether the instant buff is better than the Hooktail over time. They did buff Chroma Drakes quite a bit. He has 2 other dragons. I'll Hooktail here, honestly. Because I like the AoE buff more. Because it's only 2 other dragons, right? If he had 3 or 4, maybe. I was awake at 5 a.m., by the way, but that was the point. Okay, we'll go for the front-loaded buff here. So, Jeef likely has run the math in his head And he came to the conclusion that there's too much chance that he loses this fight or maybe even the next fight if he takes a Hooktail. So goes for the instant more buffs from the yellow Chroma Drake on his 2 other dragons rather than the slower but AoE buffing of the guy. Well, this is a pretty weak board, so it's fine. One of those boring plays. I mean, taking Goblin Wallet is never boring. That's one of the most fun trinkets there is. You're literally getting an oil every turn. That's good. That's good shit right there. I am dealing 10. I mean, it wasn't that much of a victory, I guess, but no, the Brood Mother was unpopped. He actually had quite a bit of stuff left in the tank here. All right, very, very fast turn. Pop, 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 pop. It's just like a very... This is just a downstream result of Jeef's decisions in the early game that gave him a really nice board. So now he's able to level there with high HP. And then he takes his loss here while the damage cap is still 10. So now he's going to go to 28, but he's going to be on tier 5. And then hopefully on tier 5, he can make a good enough turn that he's not going to take damage again. And then he's stable on 28 health on tier 5. That's very good. That's really textbook how you play. You know, which is no surprise that, you know, Jeef does quite a few textbook plays. Textbook as in, you know, if you could choose, that's how you would play it. You know, that would be ideal. All right, so on tier 5, tier 6 is not that good, right? No Naga, no Pirates. We do have Magicfin Mycologist. We do have the Shiny Ring guy. Does pick up the Evolve, okay. We'll try for a random 6. Gets a Painter. Probably not good enough, but all right, we'll skip it. Kali to stabilize with. Looking at it. It's so sad that Kali became a 5-drop, and then you roll it with dragons on your board on turn 8, and you're still like, maybe, can I? Is that good enough? Should I take a Noyatron instead? And that's not what he's thinking. He was just playing with the Noyatron. All right. Hallelujah. We are going to buy a Kali. Spell power doesn't really complement the Kali that well, but it is a dragon, and it leans into Ring Bearer later. It leans into back-to-back later. Nala, pretty good scaling as well. That does make him a little sad that he picked Kali, because then Nala and Kali are very much different, but that's just a sunk cost thing, right? Like, he's not going to get baited by that. If Nala is the right pick, he's still going to do it. I guess he might sell one dragon here to hero power. Nope. No hero power. Oh, that's interesting. Surprised we didn't sell Kali to hero power. Sell Kali to hero power. Keep the whelp, sell the Kali. That's so sad. I don't know. I think I would have... Well, then again, if you do sell, you have to put the Kali on the board, and it's a bit weird. Yeah, hero power wouldn't have been that great anyway here. Okay, so unfortunately, the thing we talked about did not happen. He did not get enough stuff on tier 5 to avoid taking the damage. So instead of being a 28 health game, it's going to be a 13 health game. Now, 13 is still recoverable with armor. Then you are above damage cap, but you really, really do not want to be below 15 this early. Oh, wait, it's not 15. He's only taking 11. Okay, 11 we can deal with. Yeah, in my mind, it's just you lose, it's 15, right? But that's obviously not true. Magicfin, fantastic. Looking at Chromatic Tear for a second, too. He does have Kali. Guiding Candle. Man, all of these are kind of on the table. I don't think I would go for the Chroma Drakes, but he does have the Kali, so. Now he's also looking at the Factory, seeing if he can high roll with that. This is a fun one, man. There's a lot of things he could pick here. Sometimes you just have 1 or 2 trinkets that are viable, but all of these are somewhat pickable. At least entertainable. Magicfin is so solid, though. Third Sandman, thank you very much. Okay, has back-to-back with a Magicfin. Buys the Chroma Drake generator. Would love to see a Brann now. This would be fantastic for him. Switches to hero power pretty easily here. I guess the secret guy. We're not taking Omu on tier 5. All right. Are we jamming Kali? Are we not? We're jamming Kali, right? Okay, thank you, thank you. Still keeping the type spread for the Nala. Wonder if he's gonna hold a back-to-back in his hand here. Oh, found a Brann. That's huge, that's huge. Sell what you need to. Some blood, a kidney, I don't care. Let's go, baby. He's thinking about it, like, oh, do I just freeze? He's going in. Wow, dude. That is insane how he makes that call on the rope there. That is a difference, chat. Let's look at that again. This is him really processing, okay, how much value am I getting if I just go full dragon this turn? So with 12 seconds on the rope, he's still like, okay, Brann, I get double battle cry from this guy. I put the Kali down. It's 4/4 per battle cry plus whatever the battle cry puts. It's an AoE buff. I get 3 battle. Okay, it seems worth. And then he's like very decisively, all right, yeet, 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 Brann, go, battle cry. If he had like 2 more seconds here, it'd be so much better because then he could cycle even more battle cries. But my God. What is the downside of waiting? Being weaker and having to freeze. And as a result, he is going to have a 99.8% victory here. And that's really, if you're asking what's the difference between Jeef and just like regular players, it's not this, right? Jeef just has overall much better decision making. But if you're asking what's the difference between Jeef and just people that are also really, really good, then it's partially this. Like, for instance, I can't do this. Like, that's just a brain speed issue, right? It's just not enough brain speed for that. I was like, well, I could maybe like, oh, fuck, rope, and oh, my gold, and they know the roll, the freeze, right. All right, so he's going to think about Rylak here, and this is also where just, the Primal Fin looks good, yeah. This is also where the experience level comes in quite a bit. There's a lot of experience with board space here that he's gonna have to deal with because he now sees the Rylak and he obviously has the opportunity to play it. It's just about what does he want to trigger. Looks like he's gonna farm the rolls. He's even gonna go for the Titus like full milk. This is also where holding that 17 is so crucial. Him having 17 HP means he can have 1 turn of the Rylak. Okay, will not go for the rerolls. Interesting, kept that for a while. Looks like he's just gonna trigger the Chromodrakes then, right? Yeah. It looks to me like we are trying to maybe even golden that tier 5 Chromadrake generator and then trigger that one. Oh, he's gonna do spell power? Oh, spell power for back-to-back. Ah. Yeah, I could see that. He's running out of gold a little bit, which is hilarious. He played so fast that he's actually running out of gold this turn. Not gonna go for the other Rylak, not trying to trigger more. He can go for Reborn on the Rylak if he really wants to push for it. Yeah, looks like that's what he's doing. Does not go for the spell power. Oh, okay, last minute change of plans here. So we'll farm the back-to-back and sorry, we'll play the back-to-back, hold the other one in his hand, and farm the Chromadrake still this turn. Huh. Man, that is just so much going on. So this is also a turn where I just lose the plot, and I'm just like, I can do this, I can do that, I can do everything. So it's where that experience helps, and it's also where decisiveness helps so much, where you just say, hey, I know what's best, I'm just gonna do this, I'm not gonna get, you know, baited by the other options. But he I mean, when you look at it, this looks pretty good, right? He does have like, what is this, like 8-9 extra gold. He gets a triple probably, or did nothing triple here? That'd be hilarious. Did nothing triple? I don't think it did, right? Oh no, he got 1 triple. He got the black one. Okay, cool. Another Brann, another roll. Spell power out, keeps the Kali to stabilize. So this is another one where I doubt he's going to play Kali for the long term, but he has the Kali now to just get value from all the battle cries that he's playing, which means that he can farm. Yeah, he's not even buying the other Kali. That's so sad. That's so sad, bro. That's so much money. Okay, he's got good money. He's got the end of turn back-to-back thing, but it looks like he is not trying to do that. He would have to buy it back, right? I do think he's going to use this Magicfin on the far left, which has back-to-back. So I think he is farming spell power here with these Chromadrakes. And then he's gonna end up triggering a lot of back-to-back. But it's a bit weird when you do it like that, because you essentially go roulette. Every fight is a fight you could lose, because the back-to-back buff is random. It can go on your enemy's board too. That's so it's quite weird when you do it. He has the Black Chroma Drake in his hand for so long that I'm assuming that he's going to end on it to farm spell power this round to make the back-to-back stronger. Balinda nullifies that effect. Does it? Balinda doesn't have text that prevents your guys from being stupid, right? It just means that if you cast on your board, it's double, and if you cast on their board, it's not. But there's nothing that prevents your guy from just buffing the opponent, right? You have to be on stream. Yeah. But whoa. That's not the language we're using here, right? Saying like, oh, it nullifies the effect versus, oh, you would have to get unlucky is like, oh, hello, let me introduce Hearthstone Battlegrounds to you, sir. Where no one in the history of Hearthstone Battlegrounds has gotten extremely unlucky before. But yeah, no, I hear you. It's a very fair remark. I think my remark is also fair. Why do we not want more Caligos? The short version is because it's shockingly good. The long version is he's like trying to go for a higher cap build, which is spell power back to back. So I would say just watch what's gonna happen. I don't know when he's gonna go in on it. Damage cap went off, so I'm guessing now. He could roll another back to back. He could eyes the Rylak and F2. Ooh, another macaw. Caligos still shockingly good? I'm afraid so. Well, the problem with Caligos is not so much that it's Caligos. The problem is that the other things are just better. Caligos didn't change, right? Caligos is still just Cali, but... well, they buffed him a bit, right? So I guess he did change. But the main thing that's different is that you have access to some unethical shit, right? So I would say it's best going to be answered by just watching what's going on. Yeah, he sells the spell power. The Cali is like, really? After all I've done for you? The ring bearer stays, maybe. Oh, Brandon. We do love to see a Brandon. He's had so many of those things that he had to sell. Ooh, okay. We want Reborn. Give us a Reborn, baby. Give us a nice little Reborn. Reborn? Nope. No Reborn there. Yeah, right now the Rylak not being Reborn means that... oh, you can use the secret guy to Reborn it, I guess. Yep, that's true. Is he selling Ringbearer now, or is he selling the... he's gonna do it? Yeah, he's all in. He has to do it. It's so savage. There's a Reborn. It's so savage that he sells it. Oh, look at those buffs, chat. Bam! That's some good back-to-back right there. All right, here we go. So yeah, just watch this combat, I would say. Well, first of all, let's hope that not literally every buff goes on the opponent's board. 2.9 to win. The calculator is off, I think. Or maybe not, I don't know. Let's just watch. You get a buff, and you get a buff, and you get a back-to-back, and you get a back-to-back. Everybody gets a back-to-back. All right, there's a lot of buffs going on Jeef's board. I think we're doing okay. And there was a very, very, very fair comment from chat earlier that Balinda makes it so that when you target your board, it goes ×2. When you target the opponent's board, it's only ×1. So that really rigs it in your favor. We have a 9k guy there, but he is farming him. All right, easy win. There we go. Dude, what a full cinema fight. Now, why would you do this instead of regular back-to-back? Well, first of all, he didn't quite have the setup for it. The Harbinger came a bit late. He had to use the spell. He didn't have the Balinda for ages. The other one is that you farm so many more back-to-backs because you could do multipliers. So we talked about it so many times. We talked about how when you can Rylak a battle cry, not only can you use Reborn on the Rylak, you can get a golden macaw to trigger it 2 more times. you can also get Golden Titus to do it ×3 again. And then you have Golden Brann do it ×3 again, right? So once you can use Rylak for something, you get an unreasonable amount of triggers. Like, he's getting so many triggers because he has the Rylak next to the battle cry. So this is going to get bigger than regular back-to-back, at least during the combat. Might get another reborn here. Golden Rylak is also good, and he got the reborn. Nice. You could even Wind Fury. Yeah, if the Macaw buffs himself with the back-to-back, then the Wind Fury is better. Oh, he has a reborn there, so he can have both. I'd be surprised if we don't buy it, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Man, if we hit Golden Rylak, we can just play 2, right? Yeah. And then you just stop playing. Let's just roll for Balinda. Balinda, please. The guy had a poet. Wait, do enemy buffs work with poet? Do enemy buffs work? That's funny. So he has a back-to-back spell in his hand that he can also get perma buffs with. So he's just holding that to milk it. All right, here we go, chat. Here comes the cinema. Puff, 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 puff. Look at that. Dude, there's so many numbers, bro. Look at that. The Wind Fury paying off big here. If he gets Golden Balinda, my god, man. We go large. Honestly, I don't think the poet matters. Simply because by the time the stats have been kept, well, it doubles it. So it matters for the current fight, right? But the stats that are being kept, if it's a regular poet especially, he gets such bigger buffs the next fight that whatever you kept from the previous fight is kind of pointless. If you get what I mean. So I don't think poet matters. Golden Poet is kind of like Balinda, but only for 2 units. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think we're selling Macaw, right? He's looking for that Rylak. Rylak. Nope, no Rylak. Gotta be a bit careful with the surf and surf. Put that in the back. Otherwise the Macaw might trigger it. Ugh. Yeah, it doesn't want to buy spell power. So we want 1 Rylak, 1 Balinda, and then we are pretty much done. He's got so much money. Found the Rylak. Okay, now it's just send it for Balinda. Just sending it for Balinda. He just needs to make sure he doesn't run out of time before he runs out of money. So he's got to be like so ruthless with what is worth buying and what's not. Back-to-back's still worth buying, of course. I think it's another Magicfin, right? Oh my god, he has 3 Magicfins with back-to-back. That's hilarious. Okay. 1 Balinda, please. Roll and roll. Yeah, skipping that. Sure. I mean, that you buy. Roll. Balinda. Balinda, me dude. Please. Golden touch to try and get Balinda. Yeah, he's running out of time. Yep. See, the fact that he can do that with like 10 seconds on the clock and his brain still works fast enough that he's like, oh yeah, that's actually probably more likely to find it than if I don't do it. That's what I was talking about, man. It's just such fast decision making. He's like, oh yeah, golden touch here is like more likely to find me Balinda because I'm running out of gold and then I can discover a 6 and all right, but doesn't get it. I think he's incredibly favored, right? It's 2 poets, they're not golden, and we just talked about why I think regular poets doesn't matter that much because the size of the buff is so big. It increases by so much every time he has a fight. Just look at the numbers now. It's so unreasonable. Now, he does have Golden Nightbane Titus, so he gets a lot of damage here. That is true. That is true. Golden Nightbane Titus after the Nightbane gets buffed. That's a lot of damage. So I will give him that. The opponent has done a good job with that. I think when it comes to comps that take advantage of this, this is about as good as it gets, right? Like Golden Nightbane Titus and then Shields and Poet. But still, because we have Balinda, we're just getting twice the buffs. It's so much. There we go. It's gonna be a clean win here. What a cool game. That was amazing. This might be slightly better than Caligos. Yes, my point exactly, right? So it's not Caligos' fault. The game just changed, man. The game just changed.